Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. I thought I'd give you a quick video here of how I did my winter sowing. It's the first year I've done this, so I'm by no means an expert, and there's lots of great videos out there to give you advice, but I thought I'd just show you how I did it. So first thing I did was grab a 4-liter or 1-gallon jug, something that the light can get through, and I took the label off as best I could. This one actually worked quite well, some of them didn't. And then I just drilled some holes across kind of the upper portion of the jug, and that's just to allow for some air circulation, and if it rains or snows, some moisture will get in. You can see the lid's off the jug as well, and I did not replace that lid. That lid will stay off again for air circulation and to let moisture into the jug. I also put some holes in the bottom of the jug, and that is for drainage. So that's what the jug looked like once I got all the holes drilled into it. There's the top holes. So the next thing I needed to do then was make a cut around the kind of midline of the jug there to make it so I could get into there and get some soil in and some seeds in. So I just started on one side of the handle and carefully made my way around the entire jug to the other side of the handle, and that leaves it intact at the handle just to keep it in place and make it easier to get back together afterwards. You could cut the whole thing off and just put it back on after, but that's how most people seem to do it, and so this is how I chose to do it this time. So you can see there now how it just kind of flips open and back together again. So once my jug was all prepared, I got myself a bucket of potting soil and just added some water to got that all stirred around to make it nice and moist. You want some nice moist potting soil. You don't want it soggy, but it should, not be dry. So just stirred the water in, got it ready, and then it was good to fill the jug. So now that the soil was ready, I got my jug, and I just gave it a little bit more trim there just to get the lid to open back a little bit better for me. And I was able to get that lid to stay open. And I just filled it with soil, I don't know, about 10 centimeters, or what would that be, like 5 inches, something like that. So you just want enough soil so that the roots have somewhere to go when they get started and they can grow on there for a little while. So once I had the soil all filled up in there, I just kind of leveled it out a little bit and compressed it a little bit. I mean, you want loose soil when you're growing seedlings, but you don't want air pockets anywhere, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have any of those in there. And then I needed to pick my seeds, so I chose the 3-flowered evens to start with, and that's the directions there. So about 2 to 5 millimeters deep. Now it says germination in 3 to 5 days, but of course winter sowing, they'll just come up when they're ready to come up, when the weather dictates, is the theory behind that. So these are nice feathery fluffy seeds. They're not your average kind of seed, so they're made to disperse in the wind, almost like a dandelion. Just kind of sprinkled them across the top. Now that the seeds are in there, I can just sprinkle a little bit of soil on top there just to cover them up. It's always good to check your seed package. Some seeds need light to germinate and others want to be down under the soil, so it's always good to read your seed packet. If you're not sure, then you should usually cover seeds about to a depth of about how wide the seed is a good general rule of thumb if you don't have instructions for it. And then I just use a little spray bottle and just moisten that soil down, and it'll help it to make contact with the seeds. And then I wanted to make sure I labeled these well, so I actually made a label for inside the container. And I just tucked it in there. And then I closed the lid up and I taped the container shut. So I just used a few small pieces of tape around the perimeter of the jug just to kind of hold it in place initially. And then I went around the whole jug with one long piece of tape going horizontally along the cut line there, just to try and keep it all well together so nothing gets into it. And then I labeled the outside of the container as well, because when I'm looking at them while they're closed up outside, I'm hoping that this label will last and I'll be able to know what I'm looking at from the outside. But that label on the inside is there just in case this washes off or fades in the sun. So when I open these up, hopefully that label then is intact and I can still know what everything is easily. I labeled it with the variety and the date. Then all that was left was to get them all put outside. So I just have them set up against one of my raised garden beds, and I actually have a few pieces of wood put in front of them just to try and hold them in place. If it gets windy or the dog runs by them or whatever, it should help protect them. And that's all I did to do some winter sowing this year. So now I'll just wait and see if I get any sprouts out of it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.